So today I'm going to look at exponents and what they mean. So for exponents, so you may see something that looks like this. This part here is called the base. The little number that is superscript and to the right is called the exponent. The exponent tells us how many times to multiply the base by itself. So 2 to the third is the same as 2 times 2 times 2. So it's 2 times itself 3 times. That's what 2 to the third stands for. So 2 times 2 times 2, if I simplified that, it would give me 8. This is called factored form or repeated multiplication. You may see it called factored form or repeated multiplication. When it asks you to give an answer or simplify, it's looking for this number here. And this right here is called exponential form. So you gotta pay attention to what the problem's asking you. Is it asking you to put something in exponential form? Is it asking for you to put something in factored form? So let's take a look at the difference between if I wrote, let's put some numbers in with signs. Let me change it. So negative 2 to the fourth versus negative 2 to the fourth. So you may look at this and say, oh, that's the same problem. But it's not, because in this case, this is you can think of this as the opposite of 2 to the fourth. So this right here is the base. So the base here is 2, and the exponent is 4. And then it's the opposite of 2 to the fourth. So it's taking the negative of after you do the exponent. In this case, because of its parentheses, that is telling you to take a negative 2 and raise it to the fourth power. So here, my base is negative 2, and my exponent is 4. So let's actually do these problems. What would it look like? So negative 2 to the fourth. Think of it as like if I had a negative 1 here, it'd just be negative 1, or the opposite of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So you don't include this in with the base. So 2 times, you could do 2 times 2, that's 4, times another 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16, and then take the opposite of that, negative 16. But if I have negative 2 to the fourth, that means to take negative 2 and multiply it by itself 4 times. So now I get negative 2 times negative 2, that's a positive 4, times negative 2 is a negative 8, times another negative 2, that changes it back to positive 16. So putting the parentheses in or not makes a big difference here. Now, when you are doing these in Connect Math, I'm going to pull my Connect Math screen over. And I have 9 times 9 times 9 times 6 times 6. So this is repeated multiplication, and I want to write it in exponent form. So these are different bases. I've got 9. So what's my exponent here? I count 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 9 cubed. I can't write 9 to the 5th because these are different bases. So this is 6 squared. There's 1, 2 of them. And then I put the little dot in between to indicate multiplication. So when I go to enter it in here, notice how they have, when I click the box, it gives me the base and the exponent. And then, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure I'm back down to the normal entry. And I'm going to put in here now 6. I'm going to click this box, 6 squared. To get back to the normal entry, all I have to do is hit the right arrow, and notice the cursor will go down to the regular line and not the exponent. So now when I hit check answer, it gives me a green check. Moving on to the next one, here it says simplify. Well, here's negative 6 cubed. Negative 6 cubed is negative 6 times negative 6 times negative 6. So I know I've got 3 negative numbers multiplied by each other. My result will end up being negative because I have an odd amount of negative signs. Or just think, if you multiply 2 negatives, you end up with a positive, and then you multiply it by a negative again. Negative 6 times negative 6 is 36, so positive 36, and still multiplying it by negative 6. So 36 times 6, doing this multiplication, I end up with 216, and that's negative 216. So let me put that in here. So I'm going to hit the negative sign, 216, check my answer. So let's just flip through the first few here. All right, so here, this says identify the base and the exponent. So remember, if the negative sign is included in a parenthesis, you're going to say that's included as part of the base. Here, the negative sign is not part of the parenthesis, so what number am I multiplying by itself? 4 times, just the 9. Now, if it was parenthesis, negative 9 to the 4th, then the base would be negative 9, but it's not. So because it does not have the parenthesis, my base is just 9. My exponent would be 4. And let's do one more. What is the exponent for the factor a in the expression a times b to the 5th? So when you do not see an exponent present, so let's say I have this. If you don't see an exponent present, then the exponent here is a 1. Not 0, not any other number, but it's 1. Because it's the same as 2 times itself 1 time, right? 2 to the 1st would be the same as just writing 2. So if you do not see an exponent, like in the problem I was just given, know that the exponent is a 1. So I'm going to put 1 here and check my answer. If it asks for the exponent on the b, well, that's easy because it's shown there. It's 5. This one now says simplify. So remember my steps. I told you that this is exponent form or exponential form. This is repeated multiplication or factored form. And this, actually completing the 10 times 10, negative because opposite signs, this would be simplified form. So I'm going to put my answer in here. And remember, because it's not within the parentheses, it's not negative 10 times negative 10, it's 10 squared, the opposite of it.